Hello.
Hello.
No fire there, no?
No, it's a little bit windy. That's all.
Last night we went to my daughter.
Oh yeah.
Anna was so
So
hysterical.
you got nervous.
So we packed for like a week in a hotel, plus all the documents, plus my computer, plus the phones, the chargers. But
Oh wow.
This morning we came back, as I said.
Oh, nothing there.
Uh, the air was also bad there.
Well, the air's bad. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least here you can breathe.
Yeah.
Is it still like that? The air's still bad? Smoky?
No,
No?
it really didn't affect me too much, but some
Yeah.
of the employees says, "Oh, I'm going to work from home today because I can't stand the."
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So they asked me, "You're working? Are you on the road?" I said, "Why not?
Yeah.
I'm not going to any fire areas,
Right. So was anything happened to any of the buildings?
with the wind, not with the fire.
Oh wait. Uh-huh.
In one of them, half of not the roof itself, but the cover, the the paper on the roof, half. It's a giant roof.
Wow. Where did it go?
And then in another one, the gutters broke. The wind must have been really bad.
Yeah.
Now I
They said
want
it
to,
was up to 100 miles. That's somebody said.
but the gutters are one of the most expensive repairs there is in a building.
Oh yeah?
I don't know why. It's a piece of aluminum.
Metal. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's all that it is.
But the installation of them, it's a
Yeah.
pain. If the building is
A big building.
25 feet high, that's enough to be a problem.
Hello, gentlemen.
Oh,
Hi,
Velvo, how are you?
Hi, Walter.
Good. How's everybody?
Good. Safe
You
and sound.
changed your hairstyle, Walter.
Yeah, I did. I didn't change my stuff.
It
Your
looks
hair
different.
is standing up like this.
Yeah, it looks like
Okay,
you have a friseur. You have a friseur.
I'll have my hairstylist talk to you, and if you don't like it, he'll tell you what to do.
You're really bad, Walter.
I'm not. That's a beautiful picture of you behind you, Mario.
You know who it is, right?
Must be your father.
No, it's me. But in AI, I told AI, make me look better. So they did.
Didn't help too much though, but it's okay.
Bankers.
New Perek, Chav Gimel Amid Aleph, new Mishi. Dinem Mominus B'Shloisha. Monetary cases are adjudicated by a court of 3 dayanim. Zeh borer lo echad. One litigant chooses one dayan. Zeh borer lo echad. Another litigant chooses his dayan. Ushnein boren land oid echad. And then the two of them together choose the third one, Divrei Reb Meir. But Chachamim are Mishnei Dayanim, the 2 Dayanim that have been picked, they are Borerin Lahen Oid Echad. They choose the third. Zeh posel Dayan shel zeh v'zeh posel Dayan shel zeh, Divrei Reb Meir. Reb Meir says that each litigant has the right to invalidate the dayan that the other side has picked. But Chachamim Oimrim, Masai, when? Not in all cases. Bizman shmei and rayashin koivin obsulim. If they have evidence that one of the dayanim is a relative or for other reasons possible. Aval im hayu ksherin. if they were kosher dika judges, or mumchim pi bezdin, or they've been declared experts by other bezdinim and a yochel poislan, then a litigant cannot passel that dime. Another halacha, zeh poisel eid of shel zeh, v'zeh poisel eid of shel zeh. Div Reb Meir. Reb Meir says that the litigants can passel the eidim. Chacham amrim ein Messiah. You can't just passel eidim. If you can prove that the aid that the other side brought is nogeya ledover because he's a korov or he's a posel dike aid, then you can raise that. Avalamayuk sherim ein a yochel apoislam. The halacha is in this Mishnah that each side chooses one dayan and the two dayanim choose the third. Now the Gemara says, "My zebor lo echad v'zebor lo echad." What does that mean? Bitlosa sagi? Is it enough to have just three dayanim, or are they choosing a new bezdin when it says zebor lo echad? Is it a whole bezdin or a dayan? Hachi kamar. In fact, this is how we have to understand it, because zebor lo bezdin echad. One party says, "I want to go to that bezdin of three." The zebor lo bezdin echad, and the other said, "No, I want to go to the other bezdin." Then shnei and borland oid echad. Then the two of them can choose the third bezdin. They have to get a compromise if each one didn't want to go to the other one. So you have a borrower and a lender in a case. So the lender can prevent going to a certain bezdin. The lender can the lover can be forced to go to this bezdin. So in a case that we're talking about, where even the lover can argue against that bezdin, we're talking about Be'er Kosher B'Surya Shon. In Syria, they had bezdinim of regular people, not experts. Then he can protest. But the love, if he was sent to a bezdin of mumchim, of experts, he could not ma'akev. But Rav Papa Amar no, afilu temu mumchin, he could be ma'akev even there. Kigon beidina dravuna drav chizda to kamerlei mikom etrachnala. For example, they're on different locations. Maybe I don't want to go to a different location. Tanan, the Chachamim argued and said that the two dayanim, not the litigants, choose the third dayan. But we don't understand. If we're now learning that it's not talking about each judge that's chosen, but a whole bezdin. Bezdin, basar de pasilu, azlu, baralu, beidin achrini. After a bezdin has been invalidated, what they can go ahead and get involved in choosing the third? So we don't understand the chachamim sheet of all. What does it mean? My zebor lo yechad, the zebor lo yechad. Echad means one, not a whole bezdin. Elachi kamar. Kishazebor lo dain echad, the zebor lo dain echad. Each one chooses their own dayan. Shnei and borin lehen oid echad. So we say the two litigants can choose a third. Ma'ishto dav dahachi. Why is that any different than what we've been learning? So Amri b'marav mishmei Rav Zer mitoch shezebor lo dain echad. The zebor lo dain echad. Ushnei and borin lehen oid echad. And the two dayanim choose the third. Yetzei adin lamito. And that's how the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch paskin that the two dayanim choose the third dayan. Sep, I'm teaching a class right now. What's going on? Okay. V'chachamim oimrim that the two dayanim choose the third dayan. Name of it Rav Yudah Marav Kamiflagi. Let us say that they're arguing in what Rav Yudah Marav argued. Sham Rav Yudah Marav. You need two eidim to write a star. And an individual aid is allowed to refrain from participating as an aid unless he knows who the second aid is going to be. Maybe it's not appropriate for him to sign with this other guy. And perhaps that's the source of this machlokas. Rab Meir Leslie, the Rav Yudah Rav Yosef. Rab Meir doesn't hold of this. And that's why each side can choose their own dayan. We're not concerned that maybe the other two dayanim don't want to sit on a bezdin with the third dayan that the two litigants choose. Rabbanan Isli Rav Yudah Marav. And the Chachamim will say, no, the two dayanim get to choose because they have the right not to sit on a bezdin with somebody they don't want. So the Gemara says, lo, that's not necessarily a point of machlokas here. Dekula almi isluhu. Everybody holds of this din of Rav Yudah Rav that Eidim and Dayanim can choose who to sit with. V'dasa Dayanim kulam lo pligi debinan. We have to ask the two Dayanim, do you want to sit with this third Dayan? Ki pligi, whether das baledinin, do we care about the opinion of the litigants? Rav Meir Sover das baledinin nami b'inin. Yes, they should be involved in the choice. Rabbanan Sover no das hadayonim b'inin, das baledinin lo b'inin. Avera Marav, and Eidim Chaytz Malashtar, Ella, except if they know who the other aid is. Tanya Mahachi, there's a brisa to support that shita. Kachay Nakim Adas, B'Yushalayim Moisin, those of clean thought in Jerusalem would do. Lo Ayu Chaytz Malashtar, Elim Ken Yodim Chaytz Mimon. They wouldn't sign unless they knew who their other aid that was going to sign. V'lo Ayu Yoshvim B'Din Elim Ken Ayu Yodim Yoshvim. They wouldn't sit on a best unless they knew who was sitting with them. They wouldn't go to a dinner unless they knew who was sitting with them. And these are all halachas. An aid can refrain, a dayan can refrain, and people wouldn't go to dinner unless they knew who was there. Because it's a...
Obviously, Talmidei Chachamim wouldn't go to dinner if they...
Exactly. The Talmid Chacham could refuse to go. Maybe there'd be an Amoritz there that it was not on his level to go eat the meal with them. Exactly. That's how the Shulchan Aruch paskins. Gnai hu l'tamid chacham leishev liad ha'aretz. So we said in the Mishnah that each side can puzzle the other side's dayan. Called committed to puzzle dayan? I don't understand. We give Balabatim the right to puzzle the dayan. Again, we're talking about in Syria. There, the courts did not have experts; they had Balabatim. Therefore, he could protest, and I don't want that guy. But if they were expert dayanim, declared by the public to be expert dayanim, then they could not protest. Now, Hamidiktani Sefer, from the fact that in the Sefer of our Mishnah it says, Chachamim Moimrim, Emasai, when can a litigant puzzle a dayan? Bisman shemevi raya, shein kroivin upsulin. When they have evidence that the dayan is a korov or puzzle, avim hayuk sherin, or mumchin mipi bezdin. Here's the point now of the Gemara. See, the Chachamim say that if they were mumche, ain't a yochel apostle, but comes out that even Rameir is arguing about mumchin. Shrameir mumchin nami ka'amar, that even if they were mumchin, they could protest. So the Gemara answers no. Hachikam. Aval im hayu ksherin, if they were not a korov or puzzle, they were nasu kemuncha mipi bezdin, and ene yochel apostle, including the Rameir. Torshma. Amal Rav Meir. The Chachamim said to Rav Meir, lo kol kalamenu. Poisel dayan shemum chalarabim. The balabas, the litigant, cannot puzzle the other dayan who's a mum chalarabim. which again seems to imply that Rav Meir argues by Mumchin. So again, the Gemara amends the Me'ema lo kol kelamenu shepoisel dain shimchu Rabbi Maleya. Rav Meir is talking about those courts in Syria. That's where he can protest. But regarding Mumchin, he can't protest. Tana Mahachi. Loilam poisel v'hoilech ad shekabel beis din shemamum in l'rabim div Rav Meir. So there, even Rav Meir is maskim that a beis din of Mumchin l'rabim you can't pass with them. Freit Gemara of edim k'mumchin dami. An aid is an aid. You don't, an edim don't go through any kind of smicha. And still, Omer of Meir, zeh pois leiv shel zeh, zeh pois leiv shel zeh. So, and edim are treated like mumchin, yet you can pass on the other side. So we answer, Ha'itmar Allah, Amr Lakish, Peh Kodesh Yomer Davar Zeh. Should a holy mouth like Rav Meir, Gadol B'Chochman Kedusha, say that I'm not masking with a certain aid? So Tani Edo, he can only passel one aid. That if the other side only brought one aid, not two aid, the other side brought one aid, then he could passel it. Now, Edo Lamai. Now, what is this case? You want to take money out of somebody. So, Rachmana Pasle, we don't take money on the testimony of one aid. You need two aids to take money. Now, one aid could require the other guy to take a shvuah. Elish shvuah. Hey, menu mehemen kebeitrei. An aid echad is believed even like two. Minat Torah, one aid can at least help the other side to take a shvuah that he's not chayiv. So lo'olam, we are talking about moment, and the chiddush is lo tzricha to keep like a betray. He announced prior to the court that he's going to accept the one aid as two aid, as if they were two, and he's neman for me, and his aidus is considered like two, and then he changed his mind. So my kamashmalan. The Matzi Hoderbe, that he can go back. So that's already been learned. Tanina. Omer lo neman alai abba. I trust, even though normally a relative can't testify, he's reliable. Neman alai avicha. O nemonim alai shlosh roi bakar. Or these three cattle merchants are believed to me. Ramei Omer yachol lachzerbo. Even though he makes that statement, he can go back on it. Because Minat Torah, they're excluded. So we've already learned this. Then why are you teaching me again? Now, in that case, Chachamim Oimrim, ain't a yachol lachzor bo. So we already have this machloek. Amar Rav Dimi, Braid Rav Nachman, Braid Rav Yosef. We're talking about a case to go into Kibbutz Leibachad. He stipulated, I'm going to accept, even he's a Karov, I'm going to accept him. Because along with him are two other judges that are kosher. Now, if Rav Meir and the Chacham already argued in Chazara that they could change their mind, why are we learning it again? So the Gemara says, Tricha. Yeah, we need it. The Itana Abba Vavicha. The case that we brought was like, I will believe your father. But how come Rabbanan to Lo Matzi Haderbe? Once he said, I'm believing him, the Chacham say you can't go back. Because Abba Vavicha Chazula Alma. In general, these are not posel dika people. They're posel to you because they're related to you. But in general, they're good aidim. But chad can betray. But one aid instead of two aidim. Normally, you can't rely on one aid, right? Maybe there they would agree that you can be chayzer. So we have to stipulate that no, the Chacham say even in that case, you cannot be chayzer. And the Iash Minan Bahaf, I would have been told, not the case of Avicha, but the case of Ed Echad, that is believed like two. Maybe, well, how come a Rav Meir that he can go back? Aval Bahi, but in case of a father who normally is a kosher aid, maybe Reb Meir will agree to Rabbanan, you can't be chayzer. So tzricha, we had to see the machlokas in both cases. But Hamiditani Reisha, it said this one puzzles Dayana Shulzeh, and in the Seifa, it's Eidov, which is plural. Hamadavka Ktani means we're not talking about Eido, one aid, we're talking about two aids. Rabbi Lozer, Bibohu, one of the sides, and another party, Achel Poisla. Two people come to puzzle the Eidim. So the Gemara says, do they have the power to how can one of the litigants join with another party to give testimony? Nogea Beidusahu, he's a Nogea Beidus. Why would we believe him to puzzle the aid? They're not coming out of the blue. There was already rumor that this aid, there was a problem with him. So then we can listen, he can be mitzvah for somebody else to puzzle. Now, demai. What rumor? Ilema de gazlanusa. Now, what puzzles an aid? If you're a gazlan, and the rumor was that he was a gazlan, or like he was a gambler, so kol kamine. So he still can't puzzle some of that. Nogea bedusahu. We're not going to believe him because he's nogea in the case. Rather, it's ira de become mishpocha. One of the exclusions of an aid, if you're an eved, so he's going to come to say he's an eved, and it's machloikas. Rav Meir Sover, hani hamishpocha kumisadi. The EU Memelech apostle. So from the get-go, he can't be a good aid. And therefore, it's not considered that he's a nogea b'dov. V'rabbanon servi sof nogea b'eduso. But in the end, it helps him because he gets rid of them. So he's a nogea b'edus. The halacha is, one of the sides wants to puzzle the edim or the dayan, whether it's to say that they're a gazlin or psul mishpacha, we don't listen to him. And we end up like the Rabbanan here in the Maskana, that we don't rely on him because he's in Nogea B'davar. Kiyatz Rav Dimi, Am Rav Yochanan, Machloikas B'shtei Kitei Edim. One of the sides says there's two groups of Edim, meaning four people, two groups of two Edim. And the other side says, no, one of that group is puzzle. And in a sense, he's not a Nogea B'davar because there's two other Eidim. And in that case, Rav Meir holds Tzarech Levarer. We have to investigate, is it true that one of the parties has two sets of Eidim? And for sure, he's not just saying it. So, and if they investigate and they find that there's really two sets of Eidim, then the other side is not really damaged if one of the Eidus are puzzled, because he has the other aid. But Rabbanan Sarviedet Tzarech Levar. So he can make the claim without biru. And perhaps one of the sides will lose because he'll lose one of his Eidim. So there's a machlokes with two groups of Eidim, but with one group of Eidim, so nobody holds that you can puzzle. So so there's only one set of Eidim. So what do you mean? Ein shem el kachas va'amrit. You said you can't puzzle if you only have one group of Eidim because you're a nogea b'davar. So the shaila is, if after time we end up with only one group, why? You actually started with two groups, but it turns out that one of them were related. So maybe retroactively, the other side can say, the other side didn't have a right to puzzle my Eidim, because in the end, I only had that group. You can't rewind the video. Those Eidim already gave their testimony. It was miskabel by Bezdin. You can't be mevatel that Eidos. Ikedi Amri, other people learned that Amr Ravashi, Kvar Eidu Eidim Arishonim. Same thing. You can't reverse it because they testified. Now we ask, name a bepluk the Rebbe Rabban Shimon Gamliel Kamifli. Are these Tanoim arguing in the same argument as Rebbe and Rabban Shimon Gamliel the Tanya? Habo Liden Bishtar v'Chazak. Person was on a piece of land for 3 years. The other side says, no, it's not his land. The party that's on the land says, I've eaten for 3 years chazak, and I have a star. Either or. Maybe he has a star or he has the years of chazak. So, nidin b'shtar. We have to evaluate, does he have a star or not? That's the Tanakama. Rav Shimon Gamliel Omer nidin b'chazaka. We have to investigate, did he eat for 3 years on the field? Now, we analyze this case. Is Rav Shimon Gamliel saying that we ignore the star? We just look at it in b'chazaka v'lo b'shtar? No. Ela'ema af b'chazaka. You can investigate both, and you can rely on chazaka as well. Now, the kaimalon, and we understand that this machloikas, the basis of this machloikas is the question of what we said before, if tzarech levara pliki. Do you have to do investigations before the case? According to Rebbe, since there's a star, the first, because remember, what is he doing in the field first? Because he bought it. He has a star mechira. Then he lived there for 3 years. So since the whole point of him being on the land is because he had a star in the first place, that's what we should investigate first. That's the first yesod. That's the star. But Rabban Shimon Gamliel could say, no, the one who's machzik in the karka says, you don't have to investigate whether there's a true star or not. If I lived in the field for 3 years and nobody protested, that's enough. And we don't have to even deal with the star. Is that what's going on? The Gemara says, low. The machloikas is not the same. Alibid Rav Shimon Gamliel Kulam Eloi Pligi. Rav Shimon Gamliel could tell you that in general you don't have to be mavarer. Ki Pligi Alibid Rebbe. Rab Meir will hold like Rebbe. That you have to investigate. V'Rabban Amlacha Ad Kam Lakam Rabbi Hassam. In Rebbe's case, where a person was in a field and there's a star and a chazaka, the whole point that he's in the field for 3 years came because he had a star that he's claiming was a star mechira. Because remember, chazaka without a taina of what you're doing there, how did you get on that land? You have to say, I bought it, or maybe I yarshened it. But without that, a claim of chazaka is not worth anything. You have 2 sets of edim. Each set didn't come because of the other set. They each came independently. So maybe I feel Rebbe Moed ain't tzarich levar. So perhaps we don't have to investigate. Really, are these 2 sets of edim? Do they exist or not exist? Okay. Tomorrow we will learn at 3:30.
3:30 is a little early. Surely
Early or late?
Late. Surely is at 4:30 sharp, and then you gotta get ready for your for Shabbos, you know. So
Okay, we can learn at 3 o'clock.
is that 3 o'clock okay?
Well, I'm in the valley. So I'll have to get to the valley earlier. It's okay if that's easier for everybody, because I'm going to the valley for Shabbos, to Eliza.
Is that okay for you, Mario?
Is 3 o'clock okay for you, Mario?
It's a bit early, but it's okay.
You want to do it 3:15? It's a
All
small
right.
plot. We should be finished by 4 o'clock. We should be finished by 4 o'clock. Let me see.
Yeah, but 4 o'clock is not. It's
Oh,
a long
got it.
blot. It's a long blot.
Fine. Fine, we can do it if Harold is, make it different for you?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So Mario, is 3 o'clock good for you?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
We'll do it at 3 o'clock.
Okay, 3
Okay.
o'clock.
No problem.
Okay.
Tomorrow, you can, I think, Alois Shachar I saw was 5:27.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that
What
what
do
it is?
Yeah. Mais manam, yeah.
5:47, you can eat it.
5:47? Let me just see.
Yeah, you can eat until
Fine view.
5:47.
Oh.
Los 5:40, yeah.
47.
5:47, okay.
That's what I mean.
Tomorrow morning.
I
That's
think
tomorrow
that's what Chaim sent out. That's
It's
what he
the
sent.
shortest fast of the year.
It's still
Well,
too
it's
long.
Still 12 hours. Still 12 hours.
But there's no fast that's shorter. It's less than 12 hours.
There were,
You
It's
can
not
eat
less
it
than 12 hours. You stop eating at 5:47 and you can start
Yeah.
eating at 5:45. Okay, sorry, it's 2 minutes shorter.
every minute counts.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
All right. See you guys.
42.